recently I had the opportunity to interview Billy Hallowell, who is a journalist and a host for CBN News and FaithWire. And recently he's been making waves for investigating the supernatural, a new documentary that talks about experiences in the supernatural.
Yeah, this is about miracles, medically documented miracles that are really irrefutable. And you know these stories, you've seen these stories up close. And this is a documentary, I think it's different in its approach because it goes in not to tell you what to think, but to provide the stories and the information and to let you make a decision once you've been hit in the face with all this crazy information on these healings. Do you think there's something else going on? And honestly, the evidence is so compelling. I think anybody who watches it is sort of like, oh my goodness, what in the world is happening here? And so it takes you on that journey around the country to really 4 different stories that are pretty interweaved with one another.
I got out of my patrol car and I slipped.
I went from having a promising career as a neuroscientist to having a medical death sentence.
I said there was nothing else that we could do. There was no heartbeat.
It was a really convicting experience for me personally because I believe in miracles. I always have believed in miracles, but yet it's really nice when you can say, I believe something in my head, but I'm not really dealing with it a lot or seeing it in practice, right? Like I know it's real. I know what the Bible says about miracles and I'm a Christian and I know they're real. But then when you're confronted with people who have actually had to deal with, I might die and I have no other option but God, what that means and what that calls you to and what that demands of you. That demands something of us. And some people watching and listening, they may relate to that because they may have been in that position, but it demands something that I have not personally dealt with.
I didn't know how to win. Everything about medicine said this was a bad diagnosis, he wouldn't make it.
We started asking at that point, are there healings in the present day that go beyond what modern medicine can accomplish?
I think they should take the time to look at it because we are very convinced that we live in this temporal material world where nothing else is going on, even for Christians, right? It's all about the here and now. We're all distracted. We're on our phones. We're on TikTok. We're doing all these things. And yet there's a spiritual realm around us, right? We know that there's a heaven and a hell, and we sometimes forget about it. And yet we have different groups of people. We have atheists and agnostics who I think this film will challenge because it presents evidence that is irrefutable, I believe. And it would make you at the very least say, well, okay, I don't know if I believe in a God, but then who did these things? How did these people heal?